such changes to like make stuff modernized or like overly woke?
I think I can get a 50-50 throw off one-on-one with George Pickens.
Give me 10 of those. Yeah, give me 10
Give
of
me
those.
10 of those.
I'm kind of getting sick of enemies to lovers. I'm going to be
Really?
honest. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Cara Gonzales, and today I'm here with...
Eitan Rubinstein.
And Dave Muscarella.
Perfect. And today we're going to be talking about Mr. Muscarella's legacy. So how has your, career been here at Rockland?
So I came here in 1999, and I was the third volleyball coach at that point at the high school. And when I got here, I had been coaching for 10 years or so at the junior college, and I knew that this is where we wanted to live and raise our kids, so we moved here. And when I got this job, I was super excited to take over and try to build a program and make it something that I would do for the rest of my career and be proud of.
Did you yourself play volleyball growing up?
I did. I played a little bit. I didn't play till later in life. So when I went to college at Chico State, I got introduced to it in a class for teaching PE, and I got really excited about it and started playing. They didn't have a team at that point, but they had like club teams, and I was playing that.
Cool.
And a lot of two-man grass outdoor is what I played mostly.
What position did you play?
So in two-man, obviously, you're playing everything. But when I was playing club and team stuff, I was outside.
So my question is, how did you decide it was time to retire?
That's a good question. So we knew when you teach, there's a formula for when you can retire, and I reached that this year. And as I was getting closer to it, my wife and I both are going to go out. We just decided we wanted to go out together at the same time. And we want to live life on our own terms a little bit. So I think that was probably our main thing is we knew we wanted to go out together. We knew we wanted to be able to go do fun stuff while we still can. Yeah. And we both are young and in my eyes and healthy. and we feel like this is the good time to do that.
So where does your wife teach?
She teaches at Chilton Middle School in Roseville. Nice. She's been at Chilton for, 12, 15 years now.
Mm-hmm. So I went to Chilton 8th grade, and we heard rumors that she was going to retire my year of graduation, but she didn't. So were you guys discussing that a couple years ago or no?
No, we would have been getting out kind of early at that point, so it wouldn't have made sense for us to retire then. Those were just rumors, I think.
Okay, got it. I mean, it's a middle school. What do you expect?
She looked old to them. They're
yeah.
She would kill me for saying that, by the way.
It's okay. She won't see this.
She might. So do you have any big plans on traveling or any big plans when you retire?
Yeah, so we about 3 years ago we bought an RV and we've been using that a little bit, and we're really looking forward to using that a lot. So, I think we've both agreed that our first trip's going to be we're going to go into northern Arizona, Utah, and go see all those national parks and do kind of that big loop, about 5 or 6 national parks right in that area. I think, I would love to take it up to Alaska one time. I like to fish. I think it'd be a lot of fun to drive the RV up there at some point. But so, yeah, we got plans to get in the RV and travel and do that type of stuff.
That's really cool. So is your first, expedition going to be to, those Utah parks?
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's the plan.
That's the plan?
Yeah.
All right. It's a good plan.
It is. We're excited about it. We're all those things are exciting when you think about that. It's a little scary to retire, spend your whole career working and doing, we both still enjoy what we do, right? But we just feel like it's time for us to take a little time for ourselves.
Yeah.
Are there any activities that you have planned, when you get up there?
We're going to bring our bikes probably. We'll ride around in the national parks, and we want to hike through all those. I would love to, do some hiking through Arches and some of the other national parks that we'll be seeing up there, and it'll be fun.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So to travel, or not, sorry, coming back to more school-related stuff, what has been the biggest accomplishment that you feel like you've completed here at Rockland High?
I still have a job after 25 years. No, I would say obviously it's been this is such a great place to work. I think the one thing I've said every year at every banquet, and anytime anybody asks me, is I feel really, really lucky to work at Rockland High School. I think it's a really great place to be. This is a great area to raise your kids and have families. And I would say that for me, it would be, I feel like we've done some great things with physical education since I've been here. I think that we've grown some classes. We've done some stuff to make it, try to make it so people enjoy and try to become lifelong fitness. And I think that as far as athletics goes and volleyball, I think that we have worked to get better each year, and ultimately we had a lot of success while I was here, and I was really, really fortunate to have a lot of really good players come through and help us accomplish that.
Do you want to tell us any stories about some of those big accomplishments, maybe related to volleyball?
Yeah, well, I would say that I would probably in 2010, I had a group of girls come through, and Allie Judd, Olivia Lane, Lauren Orozco. There was just this group of kids they were really special. They were a little bit different than most teams I had up to that point, where they were ultra competitive. And it was like there were times that I would walk into the gym and they'd all be sitting in there, and I'd be looking and they're like wrestling around on the floor, and I'm like, what are you doing? Stop doing that. And they just were. That's how competitive they were. And that's how close they were. They had such a tight relationship. And I think at that point I was like, this is part of the ingredients of being successful as a program, and having kids trust each other that much that they can totally be themselves. And that year was the first year that we had won a section championship. But much more than the wins on the court were the wins that we had in life, and how the relationships. I still am in contact with several of those girls on a regular basis, so it's pretty fun.
I see on Instagram all the time, what is it?
The alumni.
Alumni, there we go. Yeah, they're coming back, especially Allie Judd. She was one of my PE teachers at Springview. Yeah,
Allie was, she played for me. She came back and coached for me. She actually, I don't know if you knew this, but she taught here for about a year and a half or 2 years. And then when the full-time job opened up at Springview, she took that and started coaching and doing her thing down there. And she's had a lot of success. She's a great kid, and she's actually not a kid to you, but she is to me. And I really, really enjoyed my time with her and all those other girls.
I just have a question about this year. So I heard that you guys went to Hawaii. How was that? Like, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It was pretty awesome. It's the second time we had done this trip. The first time was in 2019, and I was talking to the girls about it, and they got super excited. So we decided to do it. I think that one of the really special things about Hawaii this year was, unfortunately, there was a tragedy in Hawaii in Maui with the fires, and that took place probably about 2 or 3 weeks before we went. And some of the girls came to me and said, "What can we do to help, since we're going here and we're going to make this trip?" And that's when we decided to do this a little fundraiser and ask people to donate gift cards. And I was expecting for us to make maybe a couple of $1,000s and be able to give it to them, but ultimately it turned out to be almost $8,000 in gift cards. Oh, wow. And when we got there, we got a chance to meet the athletic director, the volleyball coach, several volleyball players. We were able to give them our gift and say that, it's a little token, but it was pretty special. And kind of to end that whole thing off is, I don't know if you watched the Super Bowl this year, but they highlighted that Lahaina Luna High School, and those were the people. The athletic director was the guy that we had met there and gave the gift cards to, and some of those other people that were on that platform were people that we met. And it was kind of cool.
That's cool.
So how did you guys get that opportunity to go out there?
So it's an invitation, and they had, because we had been there before, they had contacted me and said, hey, look, we'd love to have you back. I talked to the girls, and they felt like it was something they wanted to do. So we needed to fundraise for it, and they all raised money so that they can go and so that we could go as a team, and we made it possible that way.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Is there anyone that inspired you to, start coaching?
Yeah, I mean, to get started coaching, I was in college. I was young. I was actually in junior college, so I was still living at home, and my mom passed away kind of early, so I was living at home and going to junior college. And my older sister, who had a son, my nephew, he was probably about 10, maybe 8 at the time, and he's starting to play basketball. So when they went to their rec league to start they didn't have enough coaches. So they had contacted me and said, hey, look, they need a coach, and you can coach your nephew's team. So I was like, I was 20 years old or so at the time. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. And so I coached the team, and this is kind of cool, is my sister was the team mom. So here we are, 20 and 18-year-old, and we're running this team and being team parents, and we had a little party at our house afterwards. But there was a guy there who was a friend of my sister and her husband, and his name was Doug Gill, and Doug kind of told me, look, you would be great at this. I think you should really consider doing it. And so he was kind of my influence to get me into coaching, and that was my first taste of coaching.
That's amazing. Do you want to talk about any of the big challenges that you've maybe faced throughout your career?
I mean, there's challenges every year, and I think that, you just have to, like when I first got to Rockland, volleyball was the first year we were somewhat competitive. They had a little bit of success. They had won a section championship early. They had probably the best player that ever come through Rockland High School came those early years. Her name was Kai Bell. And Kai was a phenomenal player. They won a section championship with her. But then after that, they kind of, we were a smaller school, and girls weren't choosing to play volleyball. They were playing basketball. They were playing other sports. And so when I got here, I would say the biggest challenge was to make volleyball part of this community. And the ways that we did that, or that I chose to do that, was first we started a summer camp, started getting young girls interested, and that helped us get some success. And then I would say that a few years later, we started doing some club stuff and trying to get more kids playing. And so for the first probably 20 years I was here, we ran a developmental club team that helped build our program and helped it get to where it is today. I'd say that was probably the biggest hurdle, getting kids to play, get excited about volleyball.
Do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah, so my final question is, what do you want your legacy to be when you leave Rockland?
I would hope that when looking back at what we did here in the 25 years that I've been the coach, I would hope that they would say that they made that program competitive and fun. The girls had fun doing it. I think that it was important to me to make those connections with the players. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just about winning and losing. It was really family and trying to make everybody feel like they had a special place to be on our campus, and while they were in their high school years, which can be hard for a lot of kids. And so I would hope that that's what people would say, and my legacy would be is that they said, look, he made a really comfortable place for us to be, a fun place for us to be, and we were able to have some success while doing it.
And my final question is, who is going to be your successor?
So they just hired a gentleman. His name is Brett Almazan Cesar, who is a very, very successful volleyball coach. He comes from the Bay Area. He used to coach at Midi High School. He's had a lot of success at the state level. He's won several state championships. And unfortunately for me, he is the one that didn't allow us to get to those state championship games a lot of years. I lost to Brett a lot of times in my career. So I think Rockland High School is in a good place. They got a good guy that's gonna take over, and I'm excited to see what he can do with these girls.
All right. Well, thank you for this interview.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you doing this.
Of course.
Hi, I'm Trey, part of Rockland Media. If you liked your podcast, go ahead and like and subscribe. And if you'd like to read more articles and learn more about your campus, go ahead and visit rocklandmedia.org.